Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm going to make a reverse dyed shirt that is both a diamond and a geode shirt. I've pre-washed the shirt, but it hasn't been soaked in anything. I also have it turned inside out. I'm starting with a black Geode Ultra Cotton shirt, and I'm going to put a diamond on the shirt, but I'm going to put it in the lower portion of the shirt. So I'm going to take a piece of chalk and mark where I'd like for the center of the diamond to be. By the way, I'm putting the diamond both on the front and the back of the shirt. Now, using the piece of chalk, I'm going to draw a diagonal line on the area that I just folded. This is going to be the diamond. I'm going to fan fold this line and tie it with some sinew. I'm going to tie the line with sinew because I'm going to remove part of the color from this shirt, but I don't want all the color removed. So sinew is wax coated, and wherever I put a sinew line, that's going to keep that area underneath that line from having the color removed from it. I'm tying the initial line, then I'm going to tie additional lines in the diamond going out toward the center. I'm making the lines get just a little bit closer to each other the further I go, or the closer I get to the center of the diamond. Once I get down to the very end or the center of the diamond, I'm going to start working the sinew back toward that initial line. I'm going to just wrap a few lines on the previously wrapped sinew lines. I've found that if I cut the sinew off right at the very end, where that very last wrap of sinew is so small, it usually unravels during the color removal process. But if I'll wrap it back down toward that initial line and either cut it off there, or like I'm getting ready to do, make a couple more lines of sinew, it just seems to work better and it doesn't come unraveled. By the way, you can make your diamond as large or small as you'd like to. Okay, so now that the diamond portion is tied, I'm going to go ahead and do geodes on the rest of the shirt. But I'm going to do the geodes the way I normally do geodes, and I'm only going to tie one layer of fabric at a time. So I'm going to grab an area on the shirt where I'd like for the center of a geode to be. Then I'm going to slide my hand down to the bottom of that area and begin tying from the bottom. I like to tie the geodes from the bottom going out toward the center of the geode. I think that gives a more natural look, kind of looks less like a bullseye and more like an actual geode. I'm also going to vary the amount of lines that I put in each geode, and I'm going to put part of the lines closer together and part of them further apart. I'm also kind of trying to keep the geode messy as I'm tying it, and I'm messing with the center portion, or what is going to be the center portion of the geode, kind of moving that fabric around, stuffing part of it inside, just to give a more natural look to each of the geodes. I'm going to continue tying this shirt until most of the shirt is covered in geodes. And here again, you can make as many geodes on a shirt as you want, or as few as you'd like. And you can make them really big or really small. I personally tend to put a little bit larger geodes on a shirt, but I've seen other tie-dyers who really prefer to do just a whole bunch of really small geodes. And their shirts look great too. It's just kind of a personal preference thing. Once I get the shirt tied with geodes, I'm going to take and just randomly wrap the sinew around in that center area where all the geodes meet. I want that space to have some definition lines in it, so I'm not really wrapping a specific design, I'm just wrapping various lines of sinew through that center portion. Wrapping these lines also helps me kind of press those geodes down and make a little bit flatter design, which will make it easier to apply the dye. Okay, so for the color removal process, I'm using a product called Out White Brite Laundry Whitener. I purchased mine at Walmart in the laundry aisle. It's usually next to the bleach products. It's not bleach, so it won't damage your shirt or your other items the way bleach will. But that's normally where I find it in my store. If you can't find it at your local department store, I have a link down below for where you can purchase some from Amazon. I'm beginning by liberally sprinkling the Out White Brite over the top of all of the shirts and dresses and everything that I have in this container. By the way, I am doing the color removal process outside. Out White Brite does have a smell, and so I don't like to use it inside. And I'm wearing my respirator for the entire process because I don't want to inhale any of the fumes or the powdered Out White Brite. Now I'm pouring boiling hot water over the top. If you'll notice, the minute the hot water hits the Out White Brite, it begins to foam and remove the color immediately. I haven't sped up this part of the video so you can see how fast it really does work. From here, I'm going to go ahead and speed the video up. I left the shirts in the Out White Brite for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then I took them to my utility sink and I rinsed them really well in cold water. I left them tied for this entire process. I put the shirt into my washing machine and washed it with a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent, and I used either a hot or a warm cycle. That part's not really that important. Washing it will help get out some of the smell from the Out White Brite before you do the actual dyeing process. Then, when the shirt and the rest of the items came out of the washing machine, I put them into my soda ash solution and I soaked them for about 15 to 20 minutes, wrung them out of my Panda spin dryer, and then I set the shirt aside and I allowed it to dry out completely. I don't like to dye a geode shirt while it's still really damp because I don't get as good a color saturation in the middle of my geodes. If you'd like some more information about that, I have a blog post out on my website, and there's a link to my website in the description for this video. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to dye this one a variety of green and brown shades. And this time I thought I would try using my colander and putting it over the top of a container. I'm not going to muck dye it, but I'm also not going to have to make any kind of an ice barrier for the shirt. I'm going to start by spraying the shirt with a little bit of soda ash solution, which I've placed inside of a spray bottle. Because I'm not making an ice barrier, that's going to help adhere some of that dye to the top of the geode, where it's not going to just all fall off in the bottom of my container. I'm going to go ahead and zoom my camera in so that you can see what I'm doing on the shirt a little bit better, but let me tell you the dye colors that I'm going to use that I'm going to randomly apply to the shirt. To the sections on the shirt, I'm applying Forest Green, Granny Apple, Who's the Moss, Herbaceous, Lime Squeeze, Brazil Nut, and Bronze from Dharma. Then I'm going to use Lime Twist from Custom Colors, Sage, Loden, Balsam Fir, Dark Green, Olive, Leaf Green, Khaki, Mocha, Chino, Harvest Wheat, and Havana Brown, all from Pro Chemical and Dye. I'm also using Medieval Brown from Dye Spin. I have all these colors listed down below in the description, along with links to where I purchased them. I'm also going to use Ecru from Dharma, but I'm not going to use that on the actual geode part right now. I'll show you where I'm going to use that in a little while. Now I'm going to add an additional sprinkle of soda ash over the top and add on a layer of ice. On top of the ice, I'm going to add a pretty good layer of ecru from Dharma. It doesn't have a whole lot of color, but it does add a little bit of dimension, and it also is good to fill in any of the blank spots on my geodes. After the first layer of ice melted, I came back and added a second layer of ice, allowed it to melt most of the way, and then I put the shirt outside for a little while. This container doesn't have a lid that fits on top, but I just laid a lid over the top so that the sun wouldn't directly beat down on top of the geode. I left the shirt for about 24 hours after the last layer of ice melted. Then I took it to my utility sink and I began rinsing it in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. I warmed the water up to hot and continued rinsing to rinse out any of the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. I untied the shirt and then I continued rinsing until the water was running almost clear before I put it into my washing machine along with a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent, and I washed it using a hot water cycle. After the shirt was washed, I put it in the dryer and this is how it looks. Okay, so what do you guys think about this one? I think this one looks pretty cool. I like putting the diamond on the shirt. That is definitely something that is unexpected. And I like mixing the two patterns. I think that is kind of an interesting thing to do on this shirt. I really like the reverse geodes. I think they look really cool with the black lines in there. Don't get me wrong, I like the geodes made with a white shirt too, but I just think there's something that really stands out with a geode when it's got a darker line in it. I think they look really cool. I also like all the greens and browns together. It definitely looks very earthy. So I think this shirt looks really cool. And if you guys have enjoyed watching how I made the geode, I sure would like it if you would like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.